we are going to continue with the discussion on AWS. Yesterday, we learned how to get registered to AWS, and I hope every one of you has already made an account for AWS. So you can go to your account and just sign into the console now. You need to provide your root user email address and password. Now, basically, you can work in any region that you want. I told you that there are factors on which we will decide which region to use. Like, where are my customers? Where is my company located? According to that, we will always choose the region in real scenario. In our working environment, you can also do a latency test for AWS region. Here, what will be happening is it is going to show you that which are the machines that are closest to you and how much time is it taking, right? There is one website right over here. So here you can see it will tell you from your internet. That means from Amirpet. Suppose I'm in Amirpet, which region is taking how much time to communicate. So over here, green fellows are taking less time, red fellows might be taking more time. Now, if I see Hyderabad, you just see 125 milliseconds is the time, which is lower. Same thing if I go to North California, it is 1306. Same way if I go to North Virginia, it might be more. Mumbai, it is 209. So like that, according to practice, what you can do, you can choose the closest region. But honestly speaking, in real scenarios, it doesn't matter which region we are working because we need to concentrate on client base. Where our company is and where they want us to work, we have to work. So basically, you can work on North Virginia also, Ohio also, North California also, Oregon also, or any location of your choice. Wherever you want to work, you can work. Okay, so now suppose I want to work in Mumbai region. So let me go to Mumbai region, right? Mumbai is the oldest region in India. So in this, what happens is you will get almost all the service. If I go to Hyderabad, Hyderabad is the new baby, just 2 years old, right? So some features may not be available inside it. So we will work on Mumbai region only. Now over here, when you go to Mumbai region, under services, you have to go to compute service, and here you will find one service called EC2. That is what we are going to learn today. What is EC2? EC2 actually stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. It's like it will allow you to create a virtual machine on cloud, right? But actually saying it virtual machine may be not correct, because you see, if you go with a virtualization software, maybe Oracle VirtualBox is there, or maybe you are using VMware Workstation. Here, when you create a virtual machine, these machines will not have any operating system inside it. You have to manually install. But your instances on cloud is not like that. When you create a machine on cloud, it gives you custom hardware component and pre-install operating system. So you don't have to waste the time in installing the OS. You know, if you manually install the OS, it will take 15-20 minutes, at least 10-12 minutes it will easily take to install the OS. So here the OS comes pre-installed. Getting it or not? So this is the reason we don't call it virtual machine generally. Here we call it as instance. So instance is actually nothing but the virtual machine that is running on cloud, okay, with a customizable operating system. So let us see how to launch an instance. So go to compute and go to EC2. In EC2, you will get all the options. Now, suppose I am working with EC2 regularly, right? So I wanted to save it as a bookmark. You see there is a ribbon here. You can add it into bookmark, guys. Just go to EC2 and there will be a star mark. When you select it, your desired service will be available here. So no need to search, no need to waste your time. Simply come here and you will be in EC2. So here it is telling you that what is the EC2 you are having, is there any instances running or not, and all that thing. Simply on the left hand side, you will see instances. Today I'll keep it as simple as possible, no other complications. Just go to instances. In instances, let us launch an instance. See, here we are not telling create, we are telling launch. Why? Because it's ready-made fellow. See, you have bring a TV, so you will plug and play. You will not fix the parts and all that thing, and you will not create a TV or thing. See, it's a ready-made thing. You just need to bring in, plug and play. That's how we have to work. So let's click on launch instance. Now, see, when you go to launch instance, first of all, I will show you what is the free tier limit for EC2. That is also very important to know. So let's say free tier limits EC2, for example. Now here, if I go for free tier, under free tier, you will find out over here. See, Amazon EC2, how many hours it is giving me? 750 hours. So you can create a virtual machine per month. It should not cross 750 hours. Can you imagine a machine can cross 750 hours per month? No. But suppose I have created 10 machines. 10 machines can easily cross 750 hours. So you create one machine, you create 10 machine or 50 machine. If the time is crossing 750 hours, then you have to pay the amount. So make sure that whenever you are creating EC2, per month you should not cross this many time. Anyway, nothing to worry guys, we will create, delete, so it won't cross that much. Now, first thing, here it asks some questions, guys, before launching the instance. First of all, it is asking what is the name to this instance you want to call. Now, this name is not fixed. If you want, you can change it after launching the instance also. For example, here I want to call it my Windows. Suppose I want to go with a Windows operating system. Great. Now, here it is asking which operating system do you want in this virtual machine. So you can select any of this. Suppose I want to go with Windows. So let me select Windows. Now in Windows, different versions are available. Now one more thing guys, here only Enterprise Edition OS are available, server OS. Laptop desktop OSs will not be available. Why? Because AWS is for professional work. It is not for your personal work. So no cloud will give you Windows 10, Windows 11 kind of thing. Always server editions you will be getting. So here we are having Microsoft Windows Server 2022 base. Now what you see is it cover under free tier or not? Always choose the version that is showing free tier. If you don't choose it, for example, you see there are free tier, but here there is no free tier. If I select it, then additional charges will be applicable. Am I clear or not? Very clearly, it is going to tell you that pricing is going to applicable. So I don't want this. I'll go with free tier. Whichever is showing free tier, I will be selecting that one. Okay. Next thing it is asking is what type of instance you want to create. See, AWS or any cloud, it never gave you free customization. What is free customization? Suppose create a virtual machine. Now you can manually select how much RAM you want, manually select how many CPU you want. This is not available in cloud. Here what happens is you have to select the type of instance. When you select of instance, it will tell you how many CPU and how much RAM it is going to give you. Again, I will ask you to please concentrate on free tier. Don't select anything that does not comes under free tier. Unnecessary bills will be generated anyhow. I told you that we can waive it off, but why to waste our time in that? So if you want more CPU, more RAM, then you have to change the type. T2 micro will give you one CPU, 1 GB RAM. T2 small will give you one CPU, 2 GB RAM. T2 medium will give you 2 CP, 4 GB RAM. So if you want bigger and bigger, you have to select different types which is available over here. See, you can get up to 12 TB RAM also if you want. See, if you go to a peripheral store and you ask for 4 TB RAM or 8 TB RAM, they may say it's not available. But on cloud, very easily up to 12 TB RAM is available. That kind of setup, what AWS is managing. Okay. Anyway, I will not change free tier. I want free tier limit only. Now, the next thing it is asking is key pair. See, security is also very important when it comes to connectivity. So what happens? AWS does not give us direct password for our machines. To get the password, they say show the key. Suppose they have a lock, we have a key. When I show the key, the lock will open and I will get the password. So that is called key pair, and this is very important, guys. Without key pair, you may not get the password. So if you have already created key pairs, like in my case, I have so many key pairs, I can use it. Or for the first time, if we are trying, let us create a new key pair from the fresh. So let's say create new key pair. No need to change anything, guys. Just type the name, anything, whatever you like. For example, I'll say Gotham IT, 8 a.m. My choice, whatever I want to give. Please keep .pem only. That is the format what we will be using. Now I'll say create key pair. So you see the key pair has been downloaded. Now please save it very nicely, because if you lose it, you cannot get back the same key pair. You can generate new key pair, but you cannot get back. In troubleshooting, I'll show you that if you lose that key pair, what we can do, right? But you have to preserve it very nicely. Don't lose it. It's like your only key with which you can enter the house. If you lose that key also, then key maker has to come, so many dramas has to go, same thing will happen. So don't lose the key. Okay, now key pair also we have selected. Next thing, firewall. See, security is very important. First thing, to enter, you need a password. For password, you need a key pair. Second thing, there is a security guard standing outside of your house who will not allow any unauthorized person to enter into your house. So here also we have a concept called security group. Now, security group is nothing but firewall. So in firewall, guys, you need to allow certain rules. For example, this is my AWS environment. In AWS, I have a machine. Maybe this is my Windows machine, and maybe this is my Linux machine. Now, people wants to connect to my machine from outside. Direct access is not available. So here you will have your security guard standing. So I need to tell the request from outside will come to security group. Now security group will check whether this connection is to be allowed or rejected. See guys, to connect to any Windows machine, you need to allow RDP protocol. And to allow connection to Linux, you must allow SSH connection. So if you don't tell the security group that RDP and SSH connection is allowed, it will not allow people to connect. So here, if you are creating a Windows machine, you must allow which protocol? RDP, right? You don't have to worry about it. It will only suggest you, right? So it says create a security group and allow RDP traffic, right? And it also creates one hard disk with 30 GB space. See, for Windows, minimum 30 GB is required. Windows is a heavyweight, so it need 30 GB. Linux only 8 GB is enough. Okay, Linux is very light foot. Anyway, now I'm going to leave. Here, one more option is there. How many instances do you want to create? You can say one, you can say 10, you can say 100, you can say 1,000, right? But we will go with just one. Let me say launch instance. The moment I say launch instance, within some seconds, your machine will be ready and you can start using it. But the OS inside it might be a lazy fellow, like Windows. See, Windows will take at least 3 to 4 minutes to warm up, right? So it says I'm going to create. You can also learn how to connect to instance, but I'll teach you, no need to go. Go back to instances and see the state of the instance is what? Pending. Let's see, guys, how many states are there. We have a few states, guys. While launching the instance, the first state you will see is pending. Pending means it is warming up, creating, starting, or after creating, maybe it is booting. Once it is pending, then it will go to running state. Running state means now it is ready. You can start using your instances. Now, sometimes what we will do, today my work is over. So I want to stop and keep it. Stopping means shutting down. So you will say stop. When you say stop, the starting first it will go to ping, and after that it will go to stop. Then again tomorrow you will come back and one more time you will start. So again it will go to pending, again it will come to running. Now maybe my work is over. I don't want this machine anymore. My work is done. I'm so done with that. So you can terminate the instance. What is the meaning of terminating? Destroying, deleting the machine. So first it will do shutdown and then it will terminate. And sometimes you may also reboot the machine, so it will go to rebooting. So basically you have pending, you have running, you have shutting down, terminating, stopping, stop, rebooting. These are few of the states what we go through in your instances. Let's come back and see it's now running. Now once it is running, you can try connectivity. How? Right click here and there is an option called connect. So when I click on connect, it will ask you can connect through RDP client. So I'll go to RDP client. Over here, you see how do you want to connect? I want to connect with administrator because there are no other option, only different languages are there. So I want to connect with administrator. Now, do you see there is an option called get password? So when I click on get password, it will ask you to show the key, right? The door is locked by. When you show the ID card, the door will be open. So ID card is a key. Same like that, here you have to upload the key which you have downloaded. Which one? Get 8 a.m. So upload the private key and go to downloads folder. Do you see get 8 a.m.? Just open it and you will get a green signal. Correct. Now you say decrypt password, right? So here is your password, what you have got. Now guys, I want to connect to my instance. How do I connect? See, you can connect through public IP. There are two types of IPs what your machine will be getting. One is public IP that works over the internet. Other one is private IP, which will work within AWS. One instance to other instance, if you want to connect, you can use private IP. But public IP works over internet. So we cannot use private IP for connectivity. It is only locally within AWS. From outside, if you are connecting, you have to go with which IP? Public IP. So just take public IP. Go to Windows Start menu and type RDP, Remote Desktop Connection. Every Windows operating system will by default have this software installed. You don't have to install it separately. Now here, type the public IP and say connect, it will ask you to type username and password for connectivity. So what is the username we have selected here? Administrator. This double box is for copy. So simply copy the username, or manually also you can type. Then here is your password and paste it here. Now guys, next time if you don't want to go through all these process, simply save this password into any file. Next time directly you can connect and with the password, or even after login, you can change the password to anything you like. It's just an initial password. Mostly after login, we will change the password if we desire to, but that we will see in the coming classes. I'll say OK. Yes. Now you see I am logging into cloud Windows machine. This machine is running on AWS cloud and I am connecting from my laptop to it. Windows is actually a little slow operating system because you have given less RAM. 1 GB RAM for graphics will be too less to work, right? So anyway, we cannot do anything about it. It will go a little slow, but we are logging into Windows environment. Now, same way, we will see how to create a Linux machine and how to connect to a Linux machine also. First, let's finish the Windows one. So this is your Windows machine. Still, it will take a little bit of time to completely activate, and then it will be available. You can directly log in into it and you can work with that. Right now it is fully activated. You do whatever works you wanted to do with that. To get disconnected, just close this tab and it will be disconnected. This is how we can launch a Windows machine. Now suppose I want to stop this machine. I don't want to use it now. Tomorrow maybe I will use it. So right click and you can say stop. So when I say stop instance, it is going to stop the machine. First it is going into stopping. After that it will go into stop state. We will explore all the states now. Meanwhile, let's launch a Windows machine also. Let's go to launch instance. First of all, give it a name. Maybe I'll call it my Linux, right? Now, which Linux would you like to install? See, you have so many choices. You can go with Amazon Linux, you can go with Ubuntu Linux, you can go with Red Hat Linux, you can go with SUSE Linux, or even you can go with Debian Linux. Now, there are families, guys, in your Linux. We also call it as distribution, right? So basically, there are two major families. One is Fedora based Linuxes, in which you will be having the number one, Red Hat Linux. Same like Red Hat, you have Amazon Linux also, right? And also you may be having Rocky Linux, you may be having Alma Linux, you may be having CentOS, you may be having OEL. These are all Fedora based Linuxes. Then another family is Debian based Linuxes. In Debian, first of all, Debian Linux itself is there. Apart from that, you are also having Ubuntu, you are having SUSE, and different flavors are available. So whatever you like, you can choose. Basically, it is all same only. Slight differences here and there. So most easy to work with is Amazon Linux because it is customized to work perfectly on AWS environment. So we will go with Amazon Linux, which is exact copy of Red Hat only. Whatever you have in Red Hat, you will see exactly same in Amazon Linux. Which version? See, the latest Amazon version is 2023. And is it free tier eligible? Right. Or you can go with old version also if you want. But I would like to go with Amazon Linux 2023. Right? Which instance would you like to take? Whichever gives me free tier, I will be stick to it. T2 micro is the only type that is free in this region. Some regions may give you T3 micro free also, but you need to check is it free tier or not. Then key pair. See, no need to generate again a new key pair. Already we have generated a key pair. Git 8 AM. I'm going to use the same. In a network setting under firewall, you must allow SSH. For Windows, it is RDP. For Linux, it is SSH. Right? Then you see how much disk size it is taking. 8 GB. Linux is very light footprint. It don't need heavy disks. Now I'll say launch instance. Very fast, you will see that your instance is also launched. Done. Now go to instances and see my Windows is stopped and starting. So it is going into pending state. So whenever you are starting an instance, it will go first into pending and then the state will change to run. Suppose if I don't want this Windows fellow, then you can right click and you can say terminate. When you say terminate, the instance will be deleted and it cannot be recovered back again. Once destroyed. Now you will never be able to bring it back again. There is no scope to bring back again terminated instance. Just to let you know that the instance is terminated, the name of the instance might be there for next 15 to 16 minutes, right? But you cannot do anything with terminated. It's gone. After 15 minutes, if you refresh the page, there will be no name of my Windows. So terminated instance name will be still be displayed after deleted for next 15-16 minutes. After that, they will be removed. Okay, now how to connect Linux machine? See, there are so many methods of connecting to Linux machine. So many methods. Like one of the most common method is you can simply go to command prompt and here using SSH command you can connect directly, or people use some third party softwares also like telnet sorry Putty, or you have MobaXterm or Open SSH client, Bitwise. So many tools are there what you can go. If you just ask Google SSH client softwares, right? So there is a big list of SSH client software what you can do, right? My personal favorite, it is your personal preferences way, what you want to use. There is no good practice or bad practice. Some people like something, some people like something. I personally prefer Putty, right? Whichever you like, you can go with that. So Putty is an SSH client software with which you can connect to any Linux machine in command line, right? So just go to download Putty and you can download 64-bit x86 software. So it's a simple software. You need to download, and once it is downloaded, you have to say next, 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 and you can continue, right? So simple, next, 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 and installation is over. In my case, it is already installed. I don't want to install it again. In your case, you have to install it one more. Now, once it is installed for the first time, search it in the Windows search that where is the Putty tool. Just click here and the Putty tool will be available. Now, maybe you wanted to keep it for long time here only. I don't want to always search it. So just right click here and say pin to taskbar. What is the advantage? Always it is available on the taskbar, no need to search. Now here it is asking you to give the IP address of the machine to connect. So just go back to your instance. Here is your public IP. Don't take private IP, guys. Go to public IP and paste the public IP here and keep SSH as the connectivity. Now say open, it will give one message, accepted, and now you can log in. Now how can I log in here? See, if you are working with almost Fedora based Linuxes or almost all Linuxes, most common username to connect on Red Hat, Amazon, and maybe CentOS also, right? The most common name of the user that is allowed for connectivity is EC2-user. Even you go for Debian and all also, it will also allow you to connect with EC2 user. But if you are using Ubuntu as your machine, EC2 user will not work. Here the username you have to use is Ubuntu only. The most common Linux user for AWS is EC2 user. So let's try typing EC2-user. You see it will reject and disconnect. Why? Because for security reason, AWS has disabled direct login. You cannot log in with username and password in Linux. Here you need to connect through the key what you have downloaded. That is the proper method. So a little complicated it might look at first, but once you start practicing, it becomes very normal. Okay, so here when I tried to directly connect, you see I got rejected. Now if it is rejected, then how can I directly connect, right? So in that case, what you need to do, the key what you have downloaded, right? Where is that key, fellow? Here it is, 8 a.m. You need to convert it into Putty format. Which format? Putty format, not PEM format. How can I convert it? Just go to Windows search bar, type Putty GEN. This is called Putty generator. So when you click on Putty Gen, one tool opens. This will convert your PEM file into PPK file, Putty private key, Putty format. So let's go to load. I'll show you 2-3 times, don't worry. I'll go to load. Now you see, can I see my key? No, just change the type to all files. Now can you see here? Just select it and say save private key. It will get saved. One more time you see. I'll go to Putty Gen, open this tool, go to load. First it will not display your key. Change the type to all files. Now your key is available here. So just select it. Now you say save private key. Do you sure you want to save it? Yes. With what name? I'll use the same name, guys. Get 8 a.m. No problem. Same name. I'll say save it. Now close it, and do you see one Putty format file is created? So this we will use for Linux. This we will use for Windows. Okay. In fact, this can also be used for Linux if you are connecting through Linux as Windows command line, CMD or PowerShell, you can use it. Anyway, so I have converted the key into Putty format. How to use it? Open your window Putty tool. First, you type the public IP in the window. Then you see there is an option called SSH. Click on SSH. Under SSH, you see authentication. Click on authentication and here you have credentials. So one more time, guys, open Putty tool, give the IP. Then go to SSH. Under SSH, authentication. In authentication, credential. Private key file for authentication. Browse here. Select your Git 8 selected. Now you say open. Type the username EC2 user. Did I got connected, guys? So this is the way how we will connect to Linux machine. One more time, let us see. Take the Putty session, put the IP address, go to SSH, go to authentication, go to credential, go to browse and select your key. I will say open. Type the username EC2 user. No other username will be work, only EC2 user. If you have created Ubuntu machine, you have to use the username Ubuntu. I'll show you with Ubuntu also, but first you see this. So you see this is the way we can connect to Linux machine. Windows is quite simple, username, password, you will connect. Linux has a little complexities, but once you start working with that, you can work. Even here also, we can create our own username, password, and next time we can remove that key dependency also. How? We will learn that in the coming classes, not now. All right. So this is the way how you can connect to your Linux machine. Now, maybe I don't like this setup. It's very small. I want to change it. No problem. Right click, there is an option, change settings. Maybe I want to increase, decrease the size. Go to appearance, change the fonts. I'm okay with Courier, go with bold, maybe, and maybe I want 18 points or 16 points. Okay, and apply. See, this look little better. Maybe I don't like the background color black. I want a different color. No problem. Go to change settings. There is an option colors. Choose different foreground color, background color, whatever. If you want simple white color, just select use system color. This will give you white background. See, for classroom recordings, I like this because when you see it on mobile also it looks better. Now I want to save this settings way. I don't want to do everything every time like this. So what to do? Last time, go to change settings, give a name to this fellow. For example, I'll say get 8 a.m. AWS. For example, save the settings, apply. Done. Now I will say exit. Exit means closing the session. Now again, if I have to connect, just you need to IP address this. Open the Putty tool and you see Git 8 a.m. AWS is here. Just load the settings. Only thing every day you have to do is change the IP address. See, already SSH authentication credentials is saved. So no need to again and again add it. It is saved over there. Just you need to come here, load the settings and only change the IP. That's it. Now you say open and type ec2-user and you will get connected. Only IP address you need to check because every day whenever you shut down and start, IP will change. So you need to change the IP, remaining settings will be same. Okay, so this is the way you can connect to your Linux machine. Very quickly, I will launch an Ubuntu machine and I'll show you that also. Like in Ubuntu, how we have to use Ubuntu username. So maybe I'll go for my Ubuntu. Right here, I'll be selecting Ubuntu flavor. These are all flavors or distributions of Linux. It's like there is a concept, guys, bike. Now, every other company make their own. Hero has their own bike, Honda has their own bike, TVS has their own bike. Like that, that is the flavor. And everyone has their own specialities also, right? So Ubuntu is also one of the popular Linux that is used, right? T2 micro, I'll again continue. 1 GB RAM is enough. Key pair, I'll again go with 8A. In security, again, you have to allow SSH only, right? 8 GB is the size, that is fine, launch the instance. See guys, how quick uh, Linux machines will be launched and how quick they will be available in a running state. If you have given 2 GB RAM, it will be super fast and very fast it will be available. Your Ubuntu machine is also running. Just take public IP, take the Putty session, same. Just I will load same thing because same key I am using. If you are using different key, then you have to change the key also. But as I am using same 8 a.m. key, I don't want it to change anything. Just load it, only change the IP address here and say open. Now this is Ubuntu machine. You have to go with the username Ubuntu. Here if you type EC2, it is not going to accept. Okay, so same thing as you see, it's almost the same thing how it will look like. So this is the way how you can launch an instance on the cloud platform, Windows or Linux. Now then we have learned how to launch the instance. Tomorrow onwards, we will start our journey in Linux administration. So first step in learning all these courses, you have to work on cloud. So that's the reason I showed you how to establish a machine on cloud. Now tomorrow onwards, we will spend some time only in Linux journey, like Linux basic commands, then intermediate commands, then advanced level of Linux administration we will cover. After that, we may go with some AWS DevOps mix options. We will be looking into that. So am I clear how to work with this thing, guys? Overall, everyone?
Yeah, the PEM is used only for Windows OS instances, right?
What? What? Can you repeat?
Yeah, the .pem key is used
No,
only
no, dot.
for
Actually, .pem key is used for Linux and Windows both also. But if you are using Putty software, then you have to convert into PPK. Otherwise, there are some other tools directly .pem also you can work. For example, if you are working with command line, here we don't need PPK. Here you have to say SSH-I and whatever the key you are having, git 8am.pem only, getting it or not.
oh,
But I just
yeah.
wanted to make it easy because the settings will be saved every time easily we can connect. So I converted into PPK format so that with Putty software it is compatible. If you are not using Putty, same PEM will work with Windows also and Linux also.
Okay. And I got the course
Base.
curriculum from the team.
Hmm.
Uh, in that Sonar Cube, all those details is not mentioned. So, but in the first
No, the
demo you showed, right? Sonar.
Sonar Cube will be covered. I don't know why it is missing. I'll ask them to update. Sonar Cube will
Yeah.
be definitely.
Sonar Cube and some testing tool, right? Some JUnit, something you mentioned in the demo session, but that is also not mentioned.
JUnit no, JUnit no. Sonar Cube we will cover.
Okay, okay. And
100%.
also Ansible, right? Ansible is also not in the
Ansible is
curriculum statement.
100%. Without Ansible, DevOps cannot be completed, and Ansible in a very detailed we have to see. It's one of the major
Okay,
pillar of DevOps.
okay. Thank you so much.
Sir, I have one question. In,
Yes, Sagar.
in security, yes, yes. In security, what is the difference SSH and uh, how I give the name to security? Can you show again? Security
See,
group.
security group actually what happens is if you are dealing with a Linux machine, then Linux machine has to be allow SSH. No need to give any name. Automatically it will select SSH. Suppose here, if you select Windows, then automatically here it is going to tell you allow RD. So we don't do anything manual here, it is automatic. But yes, we can already create some security group and we can use here, but that is later point of time. As of now, this is the first class where we are starting, so I don't want any customization to be done. Just you select the OS and automatically it is going to select the thing. You need to make sure that this checkbox is not disturbed. That's it.
The
Yes,
screen is
Rahman.
not visible to me. That's why.
People are
Yes,
not
sir.
able
I
to
want
see.
to ask,
Guys, you are not able to see my screen.
No, no. Screen
no, we can
screen was going in one sided.
Acha, maybe some glitch was there. Now is it fine?
yes, I can see.
Right now is it?
Yes, Rahman, you can go ahead with the question.
Sir, for the free edition, let's say we want to install any e-business suite, any software, and it has a limitation of RAM. Let's say it requires minimum 4 GB of RAM or 5 GB. So in that situation, what to do?
You need to just change the type,
Right.
instance type you can change.
Hmm.
You can just select any bigger one like T2X large, 4 CPU,
Hmm.
16 GB RAM, 8 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM. I just
Hmm.
wanted to be in a free tier limit, so I have selected free tier fellow. Otherwise, as per
Hmm.
your business requirement, you can select any instance.
Hmm. Fine.
All right, guys. So we will stop the session here, and tomorrow we will start working with Linux platform. Thank you very much, guys. See you tomorrow.